This movie is very saturated. If you're happy and, clap your hands. Hey, everybody, welcome. It is time for Atomic Radio Hour, the post-nuclear podcast. I'm once again here with...
It's me.
It's Papa. Say hi, Kyle.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
buddy. Hi, it's the end of the year. It was Christmas, and now it is New Year. So Happy New Year. This is the first episode of 2025. Thanks for being here, Kyle. Thanks for helping me out. Thank you for being here. I hope the New Year is treating you well. If I remember correctly, this is like 4 days into the New Year this is coming out. Exactly 4 days into the New Year this is coming out. I hope it's well. The 20s are going to rip. I just know that they are. And I believe in you, and I love you. Here we are. Kyle?
Yeah.
We're here to review a movie. The people who've already clicked on it or downloaded it know. This is Asteroid City, a Wes Anderson film. I have it here on Blu-ray. Have you seen this movie before?
I have not. I wanted to. I really like Wes Anderson.
What do you like by him? Like, what else do you like by him?
I guess the aesthetic and how, like, most of his movies are shot and, like, the scenes and, like, it's just weird, but it's, like, good weird, I guess. You know, like, comforting weird.
What do you mean comforting weird?
I don't know, just like, oh, that's weird, but it's like, I like that.
I have a lot of things to say about this movie. It was written by Wes Anderson and Roman Coppola. The screenplay was done by Wes Anderson. It was directed by Wes Anderson. And everybody under the sun is in this film.
There usually are.
That's like a thing with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't get me wrong, it's all good names, dude. Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Jason Schwartzman, who I thought the entire time was Adrian Brody, and then Adrian Brody showed up later. Who else is in here? Hope Davis, Willem Dafoe. Dude, you know I love Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe, Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. This is a Marvel movie. Thank Steve Carell is in it for a brief period. I'm so happy that Jeff Goldblum is barely in it. This is the hottest take, and I'm no stranger to a hot take, Kyle. I can't stand Jeff Goldblum, and he's actually great in this because he barely speaks. The only other Wes Anderson picture I've ever seen is Isle of Dogs. That's it.
I've always wanted to watch Grand Budapest.
You still haven't
been
seen
on my watch list. I have not seen it yet. I own it on Blu-ray. Fantastic Mr. Fox. I love that movie.
I haven't seen that.
There's a lot that I want to see. Moonrise Kingdom and he did the one. Bill Murray's in all of them.
I'm surprised he's not in this one.
He is in like a short little film they did because I guess he's not in the movie. He's in a little short film of the movie. I think like to promote it because I think of scheduling. He couldn't be there, but then when he came in, because I watched a quick little video about it.
Really?
And he said that like Wes Anderson's like I don't know like where to put you, as what character because it's everything's written. So I think they did like a little like introduction, like his actors coming out to promote it as the character and all that. So he's technically in it, but not in it. Yeah.
I am very fascinated by this film. I would also like to start off by saying this is not what I thought the movie was.
I wasn't either.
When I first heard about this movie, the thing that I feel like was harped on more was the nuclear test site. And I thought that this was, it plays in, because, if for those at home who don't know, we kind of go with a theme with these movie reviews. A lot of them are supposed to be apocalyptic. And it's not always directly apocalyptic. Like Alien is the promise of an apocalyptic event. The Thing is like the foreshadowing or the promise of it. You know what I mean? Like it's not an apocalypse, but it could happen. The Thing could be unleashed. The alien could reach mankind. That's kind of the theme I like to go in. This is an apocalyptic story in a weird way. Like there's a lot of themes in here that I was watching this movie and I was like, I don't know if I'm too stupid to understand this or if it's too up its own ass. And I don't know if that's just Wes Anderson. Because, like, I like Isle of Dogs, but I don't feel like I would have liked Isle of Dogs as much if it wasn't stop motion.
Mhm.
But like this movie has a little bit of stop motion in it, and it adds an
Yeah.
incredible amount of charm.
Mhm.
So I have so many things to say, but like I'm like, what did you think this movie was? Because I want to read the synopsis after you say this.
Well, from what I saw in the trailers, I thought it was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be this town with this meteor and all that. Like that. Like I thought it was that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was gonna have this like subplot about it being a play, and
The play thing, fuck, I want to talk about this. Like the ending of it, the play thing, like I never fully understood, and like it's a little jarring. Because you're like, wait, I'm watching a movie, but the actual movie is the play that they're putting on. But then to explain how they were making the play, you watch a play. But like the movie itself feels like a play. Did you know where they filmed this?
I don't know.
They filmed this in Spain.
Mm.
This feels so much like the American Southwest. First off, I was sitting there kind of feeling bad because I felt like we might have picked the wrong movie to review. I'm very of two minds about this movie. Because in one side of my brain, I loved it. And the other side, I'm just like, what did I watch? Like, I've said it on here too before. There's the old adage of you've never seen a movie until you've seen it twice. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where I
heard you should watch this twice.
This feels like a two-timer, right?
The one, the guy who plays the cowboy with the cowboy hat, who's actually British. There's an little clip of an interview I saw that he's like, yeah, you should watch this twice because it'll connect and things we'll see and like all that.
I really like this film.
I did too. And
it's just not what I thought it was. So here's the synopsis. You ready? Mm-hmm. This comes directly from the Blu-ray. In my home, we still collect physical media, and we will until the day we die. My granddaddy bought physical DVDs, and my daddy bought physical DVDs. Asteroid City, a fictional American desert town circa 1955. Junior stargazers and space cadets from across the country assemble for the annual Asteroid Day celebration. But the scholarly competition is spectacularly upended by world-changing events, equal parts comedy, dramedy, and romance, with a touch of science fiction, directed by Wes Anderson and featuring an all-star cast including Jason Schwartzman, Scarlett Johansson, and Tom Hanks. Now, again, that doesn't even tell you anything. And then you watch this movie. Kyle, do you want to just get into the spoilers?
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into the spoilers, real quick, I have to thank the Patreon. Because of the Patreon, the show can continue to go and become bigger and better. Real quick, let me go through these names. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. If you like the show, check out in the description below. There is a link to the Patreon. You could become a part of these. Some of these episodes we film live before a studio audience, not one of these because this is what we like to call a burner. We have recorded ahead of time for events like this when I want to take off for the holidays. Starting at the top, I have to thank the OG Noah. Thank you, Noah. After Noah, I have to thank Willy DuWitt. Thank you to Willy DuWitt. After Willy DeWitt, I have to thank Mellow Milhouse. Thank you to Mellow Milhouse. After Mellow Milhouse, I have to thank Captain Lennox. Thank you to Captain Lennox. After Captain Lennox, I have to thank DanishHoundDog. Thank you to DanishHoundDog. And after DanishHoundDog, last but certainly not least, I have to thank Brotherhood Outcast. Thank you to Brotherhood Outcast. These fine folks enjoy the show to the point where they want to support it in a small monetary way, and I appreciate them immensely. If you like the show, you want to check it out, come check it out. It's in the description below, along with the Discord, a bunch of other fun stuff to help show your support. One of the biggest things you could do is quite literally just share this with a friend if you enjoy this. Anyway, let's get into this. Kyle?
Yes?
How do we even talk about this movie, man? I'm so perplexed.
Well, maybe we just talk about like what it actually was.
What do you think this movie's about? Like, what do you think the subtext and the subplot of this movie's about? Like, genuinely, because I feel like there's 4 different things going on.
Yeah, there could be a lot of things. I think like nothing really mattered.
You
like,
think
you ask all these questions? Do what you like. I don't know. I guess like not like do what you want, but like yeah, I guess do what you want. Like, like you don't have to keep asking questions. Just, go for it.
That was your biggest takeaway.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I thought this was about imperialism. Because the alien just shows up and is like, hey, I want my meteor back. And that's it. And then he's just like, this obviously meant something to everybody, so they bring it back. Like, and then there was like little things. When they show you the military showing up in the town, the soldier's a Native American person. And they took the land from the citizens of Asteroid City the same way the U.S. military took the land from the Native Americans. To the point where when money could be made off of the town because of the alien being there, capitalism showed up and like ruined the town. Like I saw this as just like a movie about what happens when kind of like art becomes a commodity. Like even the end of the movie, he's like, I don't understand what the ending is. And Adrian Brody's like, you don't have to. Like it kind of just felt like a movie where it's like consume for the sake of consumption. Like take it in because you're told to consume. Like he says to Jason Schwartzman's character, he's like, you're never going to understand the ending. It's fine. Do you think I'm off? Do you think I'm far off on this? Because like,
I think you're really far off on that.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I think his character told him that because he's only the director and not the writer.
I see.
And like, also, I didn't feel like at any point they were like struggling with like, oh, we don't have people here to buy stuff, like it. So them coming in to sell the alien and then leaving, I never got the like, oh, this is ruining the town.
Really?
Vibe from it, yeah.
Because without going too inside baseball, it reminded me of our hometown. How it's just like quite literally, here's the train. You know what I mean? Like here's the train. Yeah. Like, I mean, and maybe that's just because of my own perception. But even the main character, like nothing mattered to him, which is fine. I love nihilism. Who doesn't? No, I haven't. I was going to say I've read Nietzsche. I haven't. But like, I'm so perplexed on this film. Like I thought this was an apocalyptic story. I really genuinely did. And it's not. And the connection to the apocalypse is it does take place in the Mojave, because at the end of the movie it says it takes place in the California, Nevada, Arizona desert. That's the Mojave. And also, I watch movies, and you gave me shit for this before. I watch movies with the subtitles on, and it would do the subtitles.
You gave me shit for that?
Yeah, you did. I said, do you watch movies with the subtitles? You go, no, I want to watch my movie. It's in one of these recordings. If it's not Alien, it's Fury Road.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I don't care, Kyle. I'm just giving you shit. But the lyrics to Big Iron, or no, not Big Iron.
Jingle Jangle.
Jingle. That's what it is. Jingle Jangle Jingle. I'm sitting there going, I love this song. In the Mojave, no less. But like, I don't know, man. This movie really perplexed me. Like I haven't walked away from a movie to the point where I was like, I don't know if I like it. Like, I don't know if I like it because he doesn't do any of the conventional movie making things. The movie does not take advantage of the rule of thirds. It does it very sparingly, but every shot feels like you're talking to someone. Like, imagine you're playing Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Imagine you're playing Fallout 3 and the person's like over here and it just goes, what can I help you with?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like. And it's not a bad thing. It's just jarring. And it's so saturated. It's got beautiful art design. It's just one of those things where you're almost a little overwhelmed. You know what I mean? I'm like sorry that I don't have better commentary. Like, I really. It's hard to explain. So here's the thing that I was getting at before. I felt like it was a movie about imperialism because, and racism and land ownership and all this shit because. Like, you can buy land out of the vending machine for $10. It was 40 quarters, right? And he's like, well, what's my land? He goes, it's the size of half a tennis court, and it's not really that you own it. It's a loan that you take out with the land for 50 years, and then after 50 years, it's forgiven. And it's like, well, what does that even mean? Like, that's not even really anything that I own. And then the military guy who's in charge for the junior space cadet thing is a black guy, and his assistant is Indian, right? But the military people that are like higher up government officials that are really calling the shots are old white men. So I thought that was supposed to be like, yeah, we'll let everyone believe that they're in charge, but here's who's really running the scenes. Here's what's really doing. Like, the tagline of this is an American empirical picture by Wes Anderson. Like, what does the word empirical mean? Like, let's find out together. Based on or concerned with verifiable by observation or experience rather than theory or pure logic. Now I have even more questions. Did you like the film?
I did, yeah.
So I liked it as well, and maybe that's the point. Like maybe what you were saying is right. Maybe just liking the movie is good enough.
Because it was the whole thing of like everybody asking questions about this or that and this, and like no one's really doing anything about it. They're just asking and not enjoying or like being there in the moment or any something like that. You know, I mean, like.
What was your biggest takeaway from the film?
I just like how it's shot with the actors and the scenes.
It's almost like hieroglyphics.
I love it.
Everyone's
just like
side.
And in positions and like different ways that they're, side by side, connected in ways for different shots when they're not together. And
the shots where it was like, we're going to hold on this character and it's one shot and the camera swivels around and it's another person in one shot. That's stuff I really like. Mm-hmm. That's stuff that I always enjoy because it's harder to do. You have to that takes longer to do. I appreciate stuff like that. I am so of two effing minds on this film, Kyle.
This was shot using a Kodak 35mm color in black and white.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling this movie would go hard in black and white, even though it's so color oriented. Like, okay, so this is going to blow your mind, and I want your opinion on this scene. When Bryan Cranston just shows up in Asteroid City when they're about to take a shower, and he's like, "Oh, am I not in this scene?" And Scarlett Johansson turns around and looks back and looks at the woman. He's like, "Oh, what were you saying?" Like almost like a play that got interrupted.
Yeah.
This is going to be crazy.
I think it's all of them. Go ahead.
What do you mean? What do you mean all of them?
No. Go ahead. Continue with your theory.
This is going to sound crazy coming from me. It was, I can't believe I'm about to this be on a recording. It was an unnecessary fourth wall break. And you know how much I love a fourth wall break. It hurts me to say that out loud, but it felt like an unnecessary fourth wall break. And that it's little things like that I just didn't understand.
So I think from our point of view,
okay,
we're watching this play that's supposed to be a play. That's the color. Everything shot in color is the play going on. But for our point of view, it's like we're watching a movie, they're on location, whatever. But when the black and white stuff happens, that's happening as behind the scenes,
but that's
of how
life.
Stuff is. That's real. That's what's happening.
Yes,
because when he comes out and he opens the door and he's behind the stage, there's an audience.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Play.
I love
watching the color.
Yeah. Wait, were they in
the
color?
Fact that Bryan Cranston's no.
Okay.
They're watching what we're watching in the color version.
Yes. That's us. We essentially became a character at that point.
Yeah. And so that's why Bryan Cranston was there, because he was just off script. Because we've seen him so far in black and white, because he's to the audience, he's the narrator.
Mm-hmm. But then there's that one part real quick at the end of the movie where they zoom in on people and it's in color. At the end when he's like, I want to shoot a scene where everyone's asleep. He's like, but we've never done it where people have been asleep on stage. And then he's like,
you can't sleep.
You can't wake up if you don't go to bed? Is that what they chant? Like, what was that about? Like, again, that made me feel like it was another one of these, like, imperial, like land ownership, like, capitalism bad things. Was like, you'll never see the truth if you don't live in it. Mm-hmm. If you don't, you can't, like, you know, the term woke has been totally co-opted into something negative when woke meant something good a few years ago. But, like, it's been, you'll never be woke to what's going on if you don't fall asleep. Like, you kind of...
Yeah, like to wake up, like, hey, stop asking questions, you know, go do it. And I guess that was, like, the whole, like, you can't wake up if you can't wake up if you're not sleeping. And I guess maybe that's more like, don't go to bed, you know, like, go do the thing, you know, don't, like, question or something.
I need to watch this several more times. Like, I'm trying to, first off, I'm supposed to have a code with this. Where's my code? Where's my download code? I don't know, man. I like it, but, like, who's your favorite character?
Oh, favorite character. Can my favorite character be the alien? Because sure. I love the design of that alien and being in stop motion too. Sure. I love that. Like that, but Jason Schwartzman,
animated or
Jeff Goldblum.
You know how I feel about him.
I love Jason Schwartz's lines in there too, like especially when Scarlett Johansson's character was like, "Oh, do you want to watch me take a shower or whatever?" And he goes, and he just stares at her, and she goes, "Is that a yes?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I did say yes. Did I not say I said in my head?"
Yeah.
And it was just like, I love, like, his delivery of the lines and like how he talks, and I like them all. Like, I loved all the characters because they were unique and they weren't like the same, I guess.
What do you mean?
Like, they all had their own, like, aspects of, like, their character. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they weren't like the same characters. They were like the father of the one kid, you know, he's like all meanish and stuff like that, and then the kid that's always trying to get a dare because, you know, he wants to be remembered by the universe. You know, they all felt unique.
Guy who's only seen 2 Wes Anderson films, but both of the movies that I've seen have like subplots about children getting involved with the government. Like,
most of his, I think, from what I saw, most of his movies, the children are the adults and the adults are children.
Really?
Yeah, the children act like adults and adults act like children in most of the movies. That's why there's always children doing adult things, because you know, they take the responsibilities of being adults.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Like, do you think that's a commentary on adults just getting older and no longer having the freedom of children, but they should?
Or just, like, children more smarter?
Because they're not as smart, they're smarter.
Or, like, when usually adults act like children, you know, like, for instance, at work, like, me and my coworker are, like, the youngest, and we're like, why don't we work? Why don't people help? And then you got all these other coworkers that are petty and, like, act like children to each other, and it's like, you know, like,
why do you think that is?
I think it's just, you know, you grow up and you think you're better because you have all this knowledge and you've been through so much that you think, like, you know, you're better, but you know.
But you think children are, like, more willing to, because they're younger, they're less willing to judge?
I think so.
Like racism is taught. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you ever see that picture? It's the 2 little boys, and they're in, like, kindergarten, and one's a white kid and one's a black kid, and they made a pact to get the same haircut so no one could tell them apart. Like, kids don't understand what race is. Like, do you think that's what it is? That kids just see the world more genuine? Is that, like, maybe that's why his movies are all shot so fun? Like, maybe that's why it's all, like, I wanted to come on here and talk about a fun, silly little apocalypse picture with my buddy Kyle. And here I am, like, really thinking about what my life is and what it means as a whole. I think I've given Wes Anderson too much shit. For such a long time, everything I knew about his films was style over substance. Like, also, I love Tarantino.
Mm.
Tarantino was very important to me in high school. You remember I didn't shut the fuck up about Pulp Fiction. Like, that was just my film, right? I love those movies. I'm not a 30-year-old guy with a Tarantino poster, a Pulp Fiction poster. But, like, you know, I love Django. I love Kill Bill. But because of Tarantino, because of Pulp Fiction, we can't just get a movie with a timeline that is just straightforward. Every movie is like, here's this and here's that. And, like, I can't stand that. Like, I just want to watch a movie that doesn't have an asynchronous timeline. It's one thing if you start the movie with, like, what happened 35 years ago. Like, it works for shit like Godzilla. Like, a bunch of scientists in the 60s, like, sweeping up, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, a footprint. And then, like, the movie starts. Whatever. Something like that, it works. But, like, this, you know, you're watching Scarlett Johansson on the train with the understudy who then later becomes Woodrow, and then you're watching, like, and it's all out of order, and it's one of those where I'm just like, I need to watch it twice. Like, that's my only real complaint. And it's not even a complaint with the movie. It's a complaint with movies in general. Like, did you see the new Nosferatu?
I have not. I heard it's really good, though.
Did you see the popcorn bucket?
I didn't see the popcorn bucket.
The popcorn bucket goes hard. It's his coffin.
Ooh.
It's you can't see me, but it's like from the pictures, it's at least like a foot long. Fill that shit with popcorn. Dude, I love popcorn. But, like, I want to see Nosferatu because it seems like a more artsy picture that has come out. That's like a mainstream film, but also, like, what is the timeline of that? You know what I mean? Is that a movie with a succinct timeline, or am I going to have to sit there and, like, bop around the whole time?
I don't think so.
Kyle, what's one of my favorite games? By far. Last of Us 2. That, yes. But, yeah, you know what? Fallout 3 has a fucking straight-on-through timeline. You born? You die, you come back? You kill the brother, you kill the Enclave, and you're done. Like, that's a straight... The Last of Us 2. You don't get to see the beginning of that game until the end of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Why is there... I just want a straight story. You know, you play as Ellie, and then it's like, let's go back to, like, 2 years ago on Ellie's birthday. It's like, like, I just want a straight story, like, a straight timeline. It is quite literally my only complaint, and I blame Tarantino for it. Scarlett Johansson is a phenomenal actor. And I don't like Tom Hanks very much. He's fine. I know that's awful to say. Some may say about America's Dad. I don't know. I don't like Tom Hanks. Also, he was on Epstein's Island, like, way too much. Like, a surprising amount. Like, why is the voice of Woody there as much as he was? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and get into, like, conspiracy theory BS, because, you know, like you have to believe a little bit of conspiracy theories. Like, I saw a comedian who was like, you have to. Like, you have to believe little shit. And one thing that I believe in that's a conspiracy theory, definitely, is mattress prices, because they're way too high. It's a money laundering scheme in Minecraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is a mattress $2,000? Why
do you have multiple mattress places in a town, and you never see anybody there?
Kyle, how many mattress stores are by where the Burger King is?
One, actually.
There's not two?
Or no. Two?
Yeah.
I think that's a furniture.
Whatever. That little ass town does not need. It doesn't need two. And then, dude, how many people do you know? How many people do you know, and how often are they buying mattresses?
Not a lot.
Exactly. Why are they $1,500? Why is a used Honda and a fucking mattress the same price? There's something going on. Treachery is afoot.
You know what the best conspiracy theory is that me and you have talked about?
What?
Is what's his name?
The moon?
No, the
not like the moon landing, like the World War II moon.
No, the musician.
The Beatles?
No, the I can't think of his name. He did like the party song, party rock.
LMAFO?
No,
Kyle, I'm on the edge of my seat.
I'm blanking on this name.
Hum me a couple bars, friend. How does it go?
I can't remember. Hold on.
You're gonna say it. I'm gonna like immediately be like, "You're correct."
He was on Cartoon Network for a bit.
Andrew WK.
Yes.
What was
That
the
whole
Andrew WK
theory.
one?
He was just replaced, and like he had a few hits, and then like he was replaced, and he's a different person, and like yeah.
I don't remember that one, but I remember being in a Big Lots and seeing Andrew WK in Big Lots and being like,
I talked to you about that.
Were we in Big Lots together?
I think we're in Big Lots when we talked about this.
Okay. Hmm? Kyle, that happened in like 2018, 2019. That feels like it was 15 years ago. I don't know what else to say about this movie. I loved the art direction. I love the practical effects. You know I'm a slut for practical effects. The practical effects are so good that when you see CG, it kind of takes away from the film, in my opinion. Like the little Roadrunner.
Yeah.
I also didn't know this was a movie about aliens. I don't watch trailers. Like I'll see something, like I'll see a poster, or like I'll go to the movie theater and see something like this. That's the only time I ever watch a trailer is the opening stuff.
Yeah.
And I had no idea it was aliens. And then the beginning of the movie, it's like, and Jeff Goldblum as the alien. And I was like, oh, so now I know it's about aliens. Like, why did you ruin it for me? But it like doesn't matter. Kyle, maybe the fucking reasoning behind this movie truly is that nothing matters. You know what sucks? I feel like if I saw this movie in high school, this would have been like my personality. You know what I mean? Like this would have been like the only thing I wanted to talk about. It's like nothing fucking matters. Watch this movie. Also, I really like that the cover of this blue is beautiful, but also I'm a slut for yellow and red together. This is almost the Atomic Radio Hour logo.
Yeah.
Colors. And I didn't like this. This came out in 23. The show came out in like 18. Like this is totally on accident. I just like this. Kyle, my favorite character was Dwight, the little boy.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to take a moment to apologize to everybody at home. I don't know what else to say about this film. It's such a perplexing film. Like it makes me want to watch more. Makes me want to watch more Wes Anderson stuff. Did I ever tell you, side tangent, I went on a date with this girl. And we went to like a used, she was big on movies and shit. And we went to this used movie place where I bought this, but I didn't buy this with her. I bought her Steve Zazzo. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-mm. That Wes Anderson movie, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zazzo.
Oh, right.
I bought her that and I never saw it.
I never saw it either.
No, but like I paid for it and I didn't see it. And like that like upset me a little bit. I didn't buy it on Blu-ray. I bought it on DVD. It was like $6, but still. But like it was one of those where I was like, I bought this with the intention for us to watch together. Like I genuinely wanted to see it.
You might like The French Dispatch.
I was supposed to see that with another girl. And that I wanted to see. That one has Lightning McQueen, right?
Yeah. A lot of them do. Like
it's just Lightning McQueen. It's not Owen Wilson. It's just Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
Here's Bill Murray and Willem Dafoe and fucking Edward Norton and then just Lightning McQueen.
The Royal Tenenbaums has him in it. The Darjeeling Limited also has him in it.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch. Like, you know what Wes Anderson reminds me of?
What?
Miyazaki. Because it's so stylized and there's so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody likes a different thing that like the Miyazaki film about the World War II pilot that's a pig. I never hear anybody talk about that one. But then there's stuff like Princess Mononoke and Howl's Moving Castle that feels like The Life Aquatic or Budapest Hotel that everybody talks about.
Mm-hmm.
My God. Do you have anything else you want to say about this film, dude?
It was good. Like I just love the aesthetic and like how it's shot, and it's just I like it. And the time period and all that.
Oh, speaking of which, the time period. The scholarship is $5,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much that is in today's money?
Nope.
$56,000. I'm sorry, $59,000. You want to read some fun facts and then we'll do our rating?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see. I have IMDb here. I get all of my lore off of IMDb.com. Kyle, where did you watch this?
I watched it on Peacock.
Nice. Because
it's free.
Nice. So before I even read this, I just want to say I watched the special features, right? And they filmed it in Spain. They filmed it in Spain, and they made like a small town. And Wes Anderson said he hates having trailers on set. He likes when the actors come to the set already in costume because it kind of like puts them in the character's mind, in a sense. But also, like, hold on, just to go back, the idea that like government never gets anything done, that off ramp that's there, right?
Yeah.
Like that off ramp, I thought was like a direct reference to the government never getting anything finished, and just saying like, I'm so fascinated by this movie. I have to see it again. All right, here we go. Jason Schwartzman used the incomplete off-ramp freeway as a place to relax on set in between takes. I would go up there all the time. Don't tell anyone. It's my secret spot. My secret spot in Asteroid City. It's kind of a hidden gem. Also, everyone talks in this like is this like a Wes Anderson thing where everyone kind of has like a weird transatlantic accent, but they're not?
I don't know. I know like the dialogue's always usually kind of like that in a way. Like,
yeah.
But I like that. You know, like I like some character would say something that you kind of don't really get a reaction to it. Mm-hmm. And you just kind of get just them talking. Also, I thought the ramp thing was like kind of like a take on like how they're always building freeways and all that and stuff like that. And then they just kind of gave up and stopped.
I see. Bryan Cranston said the filming of the movie was very familiar, where the actors would have nightly banquets. He referred to it as fulfilling an actor's dream camp and said filming this movie was not easy, but a great experience. Montana, the British guy who's the cowboy, would walk around and you would hear spurs, but he didn't have any spurs on. It's also the first film by Wes Anderson to not feature Bill Murray since Bottle Rocket in 1996. Scarlett Johansson said she had no problem using a body double to film her full frontal nude scene. However, she said it was awkward for Wes Anderson to direct it. In a 2023 interview with IndieWire, Wes Anderson spoke about the "you can't wake up if you don't fall asleep" sequence and why he has chosen to keep a part of the meaning of it a mystery. The scene itself comes out of an acting class where they're doing exercises. Sometimes what you're doing in an acting class is quite abstract because you're taking it out of character. Instead, you're going into something to test your instrument, to train yourself, to do something that a text will require of you. But you don't know what the text is. You're inventing a kind of acting exercise, but they also meant to be trying to help this playwright break through a sort of block he's got on the script. He has something he's envisioning and he's not sure what it is, so he's looking to the company to workshop it with him. Then this thing kind of burst out of them. It's a sort of context of the scene. But what actually happens in it is still something that happens spontaneously between you and the pencil or a typewriter. You're waiting for the thing that is also beyond your control to suddenly happen. I will say there is a theatrical kind of reference to it, but I'm hesitant to say it. At some date later, I'll say it. It's something that has been adapted. It's to be more interesting at a later date. Actually, when I do tell you, then you'll see it, and it'll be interesting. Better to let it simmer for now. What? Sure. I think this is all of the fun facts. Holy shit, there's like nothing on here. That's it, dude. That's like all the fun facts. That's all the trivia. I read quite literally everything except for, at one point, a radio off-screen plays Slim Williamson's Indian Love Call, the song that killed all the alien invaders in Mars Attacks. How do you feel about Mars Attacks?
I noticed that.
How do you feel about
that movie?
Mars
Attacks. I love Mars
I fucking
Attacks.
don't like that movie.
I love Mars Attacks.
Really?
I love weird aliens and they freaking die from freaking opera music. I love it.
I think the idea of that movie is great. I don't like the CG. I think the CG ruins that movie for me. It's not a bad movie. Like, don't get me wrong. I just think the CG does it dirty. All right, Kyle. I think that's really it. I think that's everything. I just want to end this. How about you give me? You want to give me your review, and then I'll read the Common Sense Media on it.
I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 asteroids.
Not bad. I'm going to give it 7.2 stop motion aliens out of 10. There's but again, like the stop motion stuff, the practical effects, there's little things I like. Everything turns green. Like, I also like how Woodrow is just autistic. Like, I just like the depiction of an autistic kid, and he's just like, yeah, I'm figuring it out. They even say when he's sitting around, they're like, are you intimidated? And he's like, no, I'm just shy. I don't know. This movie has a, did you ever see Lars and the Real Girl?
Nope.
I love that movie. It's Ryan Gosling. Fantastic film. It's very much a movie where it's very much a film where the idea of it is like, what if everybody didn't make fun of the guy with a mental disability? And what if we cared about him? And that's kind of what I got from this a lot, is like, they care about each other more or less. But there's also a lot that the movie just like kind of lets you do on your own, like your own wandering. Like Scarlett Johansson and Jason Schwartzman have a relationship. Do you know Jason Schwartzman is the voice of the Spot from Spider-Verse?
I hear it now, yeah.
I clicked on his page when I saw it because, like I said, I thought he was Adrian Brody. I clicked on his thing on IMDb, and it was like, oh, he is Spot. That's neat. All right, you want to read these like weird Christian reviews of this movie?
Yes.
Parents need to know that Asteroid City is a star-studded Wes Anderson comedy that deconstructs the acting and writing process. It's about a TV show. No, it's not. Is it a TV show or it's a play? It's a play.
There's something, I watched a quick like explaining video. I think somebody said there's a show.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a TV show that tells the story of how a play came to the stage. While simultaneously, presenting a colorful realization of the production that looks like a film. The layered storytelling isn't too confusing. That's a little bit of a lie, because Anderson keeps character identities and time periods clear. Because the viewers are reminded... See, okay, that makes me even more confused, because then if Bryan Cranston is only a part of the TV show, he's not a part of the play. Because the viewers are reminded frequently they are watching a play, iffy context... I've never seen iffy used like genuinely. Iffy context has less impact. As we know, it's not real. It just is likely to drop a jaw or two. Is a moment of full frontal female nudity. The body is fragmented with the head out of frame. That's like a fetish. That's like R. Crumb had that fetish. A headless woman? Why are you highlighting that? I only know that because you ever see Crumb? You ever see the documentary Crumb?
Nope.
Fantastic. If you've ever seen any of R. Crumb's work, he's a deeply disturbed human. Him and his brother. Brothers, maybe. I don't remember. It's very, very good. And the reference with a confirming image of the fact that a young voyeur watches her mother having sex. One plotline involves a family coping with the death of a parent, and many characters carry guns in their waistbands. That's another thing I forgot to point out to you. Only the old men have guns in this movie. And that's another thing that I was like trying to think, is that supposed to be like a white men control shit type thing?
I don't know.
Whatever. It seems to indicate the era and these characters' attitude, though one is pointed at someone in a heated moment. There are some suicidal references. This is set in the 50s, so it's not especially surprising that everyone smokes, including a 10-year-old who's the best character. I love him. Adults sip martinis and drink beer. Swearing isn't frequent, but includes bitch and what the hell. The movie's teen characters are celebrated for their intelligence, innovation, and curiosity. To stay in the... I'm not shilling for them. Okay, you want to hear what the parents say? We'll read 2 or 3 parents, we'll read a few kids. Not for children, 17 plus, 4 out of 5 stars. Ages 14 plus, are you serious? I walked out of this movie and had to Google a few times to make sure it was actually PG-13. Full frontal nudity in a sexual innuendo way? I'm not sure who approved of this rating and how it only got a 14 plus on Common Sense Media. This is 14 plus, 3 stars, 3 out of 5. Wes Anderson at his most dry and existential. Really unnecessary nudity that pushes the PG-13 rating. The rest of the content is pretty PG, low-key. Can I ask you a question? Kind of like to tangent off this?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you feel about the rating of a movie?
I don't know.
I think it's kind of bullshit, but go on.
I think so too. I mean, because like you see PG-13 stuff and they just can drive whatever in it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they're allowed one fuck. I think PG-13 is allowed one F word. I just think it's so silly to like rate a movie. It's a piece of art. Like, imagine if you went to the Louvre and it was like the Mona Lisa's for 15 and up. You know what I mean? Like, it seems dumb, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It also, that's my entire, I mean, look, this is just my opinion, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I get it. Parents don't want to, they shouldn't have to do all the research to find out. Like, they shouldn't spoil the movie to take their kids to a movie. But
yeah,
I would argue Nintendo does it the best, where it's like, oh, hey, here's Legend of Zelda. A young kid could play it or an adult could play it. The same thing with like Mario Wonder. Did you know how much I love Mario Wonder? That's one of those games that like looks like it's for kids, but it's for adults too. And there's no difficulty on it. Like, I don't know. Appropriate for older children. Asteroid City is a rather unformulaic and experimental sometimes. Wait, this is just, hold on. Asteroid City is a rather unformulaic and experimental, sometimes to its detriment. There needs to be like 6 other words in there. But it's ultimately an entertaining experience. As usual, Wes Anderson brings in many A-listers who bring their A-game. The place and the time are on point, and it's overall an unconventional blast. 104 minutes does feel light. This is boring. I need bad grammar for these to be fun. Oh, Kyle, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Now, you saw this movie. 11 plus. I guess that's how, or no, parent of a 12, 14, 18 plus, 18 plus, 18 plus, and a 5-year-old. God, why do you have so many children? Why do you have so many children with that big of a gap? Dog, 3 18 or older kids, a 14. So that means there's at least a 5-year gap there, right? A 12 and a 5-year-old. Why do you have that many children? 4 out of 5 stars. Great message, great role models, too much sex. I didn't feel like there was that much sex. Too much drinking, drugs, and smoking. Where were the drugs? Smoking, drinking, sure, it's the 50s. Someone just said 2 out of 5, confusing. 5 stars, great movie. I thought the movie was perfectly appropriate for anyone over the age of 13, other than a scene where a fully frontal female... See, that I don't like about the way they write these, because it feels like they're objectifying the woman. By not saying Scarlett Johansson was naked, it just says fully frontal female nudity. The scene is less than 10 seconds. Like, just say the actress. Because also, you're going to help out parents who are looking for that, because if you say this is the actress, you know, okay, this scene might be coming up. And occasionally swearing. It felt like this was fairly inappropriate movie. There is a constant smoking, but I wouldn't say that it's in a vulgar way. What is the definition of vulgar? Smoking is not, I don't think of that as a vulgar act. Smoking pole maybe, but not cigarettes. This movie is fantastic at the end of the day and is up to what you feel comfortable with your children's maturity level. That's a fucking sensible adult. What are the kids saying? This is the best part. You ready?
Yep.
Last Train to San Fernando is the name of this one. It's by a 15-year-old. Asteroid City is great. I love watching this movie. The editing is fantastic. The soundtrack is catchy and fits so well. This one is written well, so we're going to skip it. Okay, this is from a 14-year-old, right? I really want to say this person's name, but I'm not going to, because it's... I'll say it to you, Kyle, but I'll censor it. You ready?
Yeah.
That's their name. Best movie of 2023 thus far. This movie was great. The cast was perfect. The jokes are hilarious. And if it hadn't been for Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 3, this wouldn't have been my favorite movie of the year. The junior stargazers were great role models. For the most part, they made different inventions. My only issue is that there was a little bit of nudity, but it's easy to tell when it's going to happen, so you can cover your child's eyes. This kid actually gives a damn. That kid actually cares. This is a smart 14-year-old.
Hey.
What?
What did Wes Anderson say?
The kids are smart.
Children are more adults.
Yep. These kid ones aren't even that bad. Oh, this guy. How cute. This guy's 13, and at the end of it, he goes, "Make sure you follow me on Letterboxd." That's cute. Good for him. I might actually follow him. Where's my phone? I got to write it down. I'm going to go follow him later. He gave it a 4 out of 5. He's smart. Wes Anderson's newest film does not disappoint. These are great. I have yet to see anything crazy, Kyle. These kids are smart. Maybe that's the overall message. That's what art should be. We'll end on this before we get out of here. Maybe that's what art should be. Art shouldn't matter if it has a message. You should do it because it's fun. And that's what it should be, man. Why do you do a podcast? Why do you, Kyle, like, you know, it's a collaborative effort. You know, it used to be 2 people, now it's 1, but why do you show up at the end of the day? Like, why did you do the 3 of us with me, you, and my brother? Like, why did you do it? Like, genuinely.
Yeah, I wanted to and talk about something I enjoy.
It's fun. And maybe that's what it is. Kyle, what a fucking experience this has been. I love you. Thank you for being here. I love you if you watch. The intro music is by the one and only Shane Ivers. You can get it at silvermansounds.com/free music/featherduster, where you can get the free song that I use as the intro, a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, I want to thank the Patreon. Thank you to the Patreon. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Check out the Redbubble. Check out the Discord. Check out the Twitters. There's my Twitter, Kyle's Twitter, the show's Twitter. Kyle, are you going to switch to Blue Sky?
Probably not.
Yeah, I think I'm done. Like, I think I'm just done with social media. I'll keep my Instagram. If Threads has a big thing, maybe I'll swap over to Threads. I'm kind of done. I'm almost 30. Kyle, you 30?
I am 30.
You're 2 years older than me. God damn, look at us, Kyle. We're old men. Old men. Old men who still enjoy the same shit we did when we were kids. And that's what's important, dude. Because the kids are smart. All right, I love you guys. Love you, Kyle. Thank you for being here. I'll see you soon. Bye, Kyle.
Bye.
I just realized you can't see me, and I'm just sitting here waving aggressively. All right, let's stop this one.
Atomic Radio Hour Podcast.
A Ghoulman Entertainment production.